What's happening, everybody? It's me, Allie Burns from Picks and Parlays, and it's time for another Power Hour. We've got some college football to talk. We've got some NFL to talk. But before we get started, I want to tell all of you fantasy players out there about a little spot called NoHouseAdvantage.com, all right? You guys want to check this out, whether you play football fantasy, baseball fantasy, hockey fantasy, whatever it is. This is a dynamic new platform. They are paving the way for fantasy sports right now. And when you use our promo P&P, that's P-A-N-D-P, that is going to get you a match of up to $50. All right. So you guys got to check this out. It's a really fun way to play fantasy. All right. So with me today, I've got two expert handicappers from Picks and Parlays. I've got Ross Benjamin and I've got Nick Parsons. We're going to open the show with Ross Benjamin and his pick on the Bearcats at the Cardinals. What's happening, Ross?
It's all good, Allie. How about yourself? Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Yes. I'm doing great. I know you're doing great over at picksandparlays.net. We're here to talk about the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. But before we get to it, I got to let our viewers know we've got a really good holiday promo going on. You can pick any two handicappers on our site and get every single one of their bowl game picks for just $299. You've got to go to picksandparlays.net /bowl pass. All right. That's how we're going to do it. Now back to Ross Benjamin, the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. It's on Saturday, December the 17th. We got Cincy at Louisville versus Louisville. These are neutral site games. Cardinals are a -1 and the total's 41.5. How are we going to play it, Ross?
Yeah. At Fenway Park in Boston. Boy, oh boy, that seems odd to say, right, Ellie?
It really does.
11 a.m. in the morning. People are hungover in Boston at 11 a.m. in the morning on a Saturday.
People are hungover in Boston at 3 p.m. in the morning.
That's exactly right.
It's like Vegas. What are we not hungover?
Anyway, to the game at hand. Really interesting dynamic here when it comes to the head coaches. Louisville saw Scott Satterfield, the head coach all year, leave. And where did he leave for? A job at Cincinnati, who they're playing in its game. Imagine that. And Louisville players weren't very happy with their head coach, or former head coach, I should say, because they found out he left for Cincinnati on social media. So you think they might be inspired in this game? I think so. Cincinnati, on the other hand, yeah, they had to replace their head coach because Luke Fickell, he left for Wisconsin, which was a real head scratcher to me and a lot of other people. Yes, Wisconsin's got an 80,000 seat stadium. Yes, they're in the Big Ten. But remind you, Cincinnati was about to graduate to the Big 12 next year. Yeah. So real interesting dynamic there. But we can't rule out the fact that these Louisville players are going to be highly motivated because Satterfield left them for the team that they're playing. So you can't discount that factor. This is also a Louisville team that's been pretty resilient this year. I say that because in the regular season finale, they lost 26-13 at Kentucky, and the Cardinals have gone 4-0 straight up in ATS this season following a loss. That's right, folks. They have not lost back-to-back games all season long. Louisville has by far played the stronger schedule facing ACC opponents and their non-conference schedule they face compared to that of Cincinnati, who plays in a top-heavy American Athletic Conference. Cincinnati also lost by 3 at home to Tulane in their regular season finale. It cost them a chance to go to the AAC title game once again, and then also the deflating factor, not only losing that game, losing that opportunity, but then losing their head coach as well. I got to think all the emotional edge here is going to be with Louisville. I'm going to take the Cardinals here. They're -1. I would even lay the -115, -120 on the money line and just go for the outright win if this line stays the same, Ellie.
Yeah, that's the way I would play this as well. A lot of motivation here in the emotional factors. So Louisville is the way that we're going to roll with this. People, don't forget Ross Benjamin is number 5 on our hottest cappers list. Head to picksandparlays.net. Use that promo to grab him as one of your bowl handicappers, or use NFL to save 20% off all of his premium plays. And don't forget, like and subscribe. Ring that bell for notifications. We're on every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern for the Power Hour. All right, so let's move into some NFL. Like I said, people, Ross is hot right now, number 5 on the hottest cappers list. We're talking Miami at Buffalo. Dolphins and Bills. Buffalo minus 7.5. The total's 42. But before we get to the free pick, I want to remind you guys, Ross is hot, and you can pick any 2 handicappers every single one of their bowl games for just $299. Go to picksandparlays.net/bowl pass to get hooked up with that. All right, Ross, so talk to me. Dolphins at Buffalo. These last week were just opposite ends of the spectrum for these 2 teams right here. What do you got on this one?
Well, let me a quick reminder, if I can, Ellie, that I've been in the top 10 in the NFL at Picks and Parlays all year long, still in the top 10. So check out my NFL plays this week, folks. We're getting down to the nitty gritty, and big time handicappers are for big time games. And follow me, I'll make you some money down the stretch.
Yes,
all right, Buffalo minus 7.5 in this contest. In the first meeting this year, Miami won 21-19. However, you look inside the numbers, Ellie, Buffalo outgained the Dolphins in that game by a wide margin of 497 to 212. And by my math, anyway, they outgained them by 285 yards in that game and managed to lose the contest. They were lined up for a game-winning field goal near the end of regulation time, but weren't able to get the snap off in time. Anyway, a very disheartening loss for the Bills. Now, having said all that, that snapped a 7-game win streak for Buffalo against Miami. The Bills have also won their last 5 at home against the Dolphins, and they did so quite decisively by an average of 17.6 points per game. Buffalo comes into this contest 4-0 in their last 4. Miami has dropped their last 2 games, and what's very concerning about the 2 losses for Miami is their high-powered explosive offense has gained just 308 and 219 yards in those losses. Buffalo, on the other hand, off a 20-12 home win versus the Jets. And the Bills, since 2020, are 6-0 straight up and 5-1 against the spread at home following a home win. And they won those 6 games by an average of 19 points per contest. Buffalo owns a 2-game lead over Miami in the AFC East with just 4 games left to play. But that's really not the huge concern of the Bills right now. What is the concern is attaining that number 1 seed in the AFC. And when you consider the fact that Kansas City has the 32nd strongest schedule left in the NFL, and that's who they're tied with, they do hold the tiebreaker on Kansas City. Buffalo has to win out, because you can't expect Kansas City to lose a game down the stretch. If they do, they do, but chances are that's not going to happen. So the sense of urgency here is going to be high for the Bills, regardless of the comfortable lead they have against Miami right now. And here's the other factor. Miami played at the Chargers last week. It was in Los Angeles, and that's an outdoor stadium. And it was 53 degrees in Southern California. We were just talking about the weather off air. If you know anything about Southern California, 53 degrees, even at this time of year, is unseasonably cold. And they had electric heaters on the sidelines. Guess what the temperature is going to be in Buffalo on Saturday night, Ellie?
Below something.
With 10-mile-an-hour winds.
Oh, my God. I heard it was like a lakefront cold or something.
It's always a lakefront cold, honey.
Yeah, there it is. You know? Lakefront cold. We were talking about it on Morningwood this morning.
Yeah, so you need heaters.
What's a lake?
You need heaters in 53-degree weather. There's a reason why they've lost 5 in a row when they come to Buffalo. And now you're coming in mid-December. I'm going to lay the 7.5 with the Bills over the Dolphins.
All right, let's do it. That's the way we're going to play it. People, don't forget, like and subscribe. Ring that bell for notifications. We're on every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, I've got another NFL game for you. We were just talking about San Diego. Now we're talking about them again. Titans are at the Chargers. It's LA, isn't it? They're just you're always San Diego to me, okay? And also Phillip Rivers still plays for you. That's what's going on. Okay, I'm kidding about that one. I haven't. So Chargers are -3. Total on this one is 4. 46.5. This one's a Sunday game. Before we get going, though, remember Ross Benjamin, top 10 in the NFL, top 5 on our hottest cappers list at picksandparlays.net. Now, over at the site, you can pick any 2 handicappers, and you're going to get every single one of their bowl game picks for only $299. You got to go to picksandparlays.net/bowl pass. That's how we're doing this. All right. Okay, Ross, lay it on me. What do you think? Chargers, Titans let me down last week. I will say that. Chargers, I cashed on them money line. I was all over the Chargers there. Total 46.5. What do you think?
I think that I'd like to have $1 every time I call them San Diego over the last 4 years.
Right?
So anyway,
just what they've always been. Yeah.
Exactly. But you look at the statistical team comparisons, and it really speaks volumes to me, Ellie. You look at the fact that the LA Chargers are number 28 against the run at 147 yards per game. They're also dead last in the NFL in terms of the opponent's average per rush. They're giving up 5.4 yards per rush against opponents who run the ball against them. That's atrocious. And the last I checked, Tennessee has a very good running back on their side. His name is Derrick Henry. So I'm looking for Tennessee to be able to run the ball very well in this game, which is going to open up some play action pass opportunities for Ryan Tannehill and make his life much easier than it has been in recent weeks. On the other hand, the LA Chargers are number 3 in pass offense at 273 yards per game. And the other side of the equation is Tennessee is next to last in defending the pass, giving up 284 yards per game. As a matter of fact, this really stuck out to me, and I was very surprised to see this, but the Tennessee pass defense has allowed 300 yards or more in 7 of their 13 games this year. And in an unrelated comparison, the LA Chargers, they're number 28 in scoring defense this year at over 25 points per game. So if you add up all those statistics, when you take the offense against the defense and the defense against the offense, it adds up to a lot of points when I do the equation. Anyway, Tennessee's defense in their last 2, they've allowed 35 and 36 points and 453 and 428 yards in losses to Philadelphia and Jacksonville. We spoke about the Chargers' bad defense. Well, Tennessee hasn't been very good at all in their last 2 games as well. The LA Chargers are coming off back-to-back unders in their last 2 games. They have not gone under the total in 3 straight games all year. It was the 3rd time they went back-to-back unders. The previous 2 times, they followed that up with overs, and those games produced 48 and 57 points. And then finally, since 2020, Tennessee is 10-2 to the over on the road when there's a total of 46.5 or greater. The total today, or total on Sunday, is going to be 46.5. And also since 2020, Tennessee 8-1 to the over on the road after a loss, which they are coming off. And finally, Justin Herbert, 18-10 to the over in his career starts as a favorite. And also Ryan Tannehill, since 2018, 23-13 to the over in his road starts. I'm going Tennessee and the LA Chargers over 46.5.
All right, that's the way we're playing it. That puppy is sailing over the total at a freezing rate of 53 degrees in Los Angeles. That's the way that I'm freezing in Vegas. It's 52 here, and I have sweatpants on. What do you want from me? It's cold when you live where we live, and it's hot all the time. Okay, so Ross is going over 46.5. People, don't forget, like and subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. The Power Hour is on every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, and you don't want to miss any of our free picks. Ross Benjamin, thank you so much for coming on the show. I'll check you out again next week.
Thank you for having me, Ellie. Have a great week.
No problem. All right, guys. So up next, I've got Nick Parsons coming in from the Insiders Room, another one of our hot cappers. We're talking the Las Vegas Bowl. What's up, Nick Parsons?
Yeah, not much. We got a lot to talk about, and I got my notes, Allie.
All right, beautiful. So this is a Saturday game. We've got Florida versus Oregon State. I wonder where this game could be played. It's in Vegas, baby. We got
Are you going?
I'm not going. I'm not going. Actually, I don't know yet. I haven't inquired. I feel like I could probably snag some tickets to that if I asked around. Maybe I will. So any two cappers on the picksandparlays.net site, you can get every single one of their bowl game picks for $299. You just go to picksandparlays.net/bowl pass. Now, Nick, the Insiders Room was crushing college football last time I talked to you. How are you guys doing now?
Yeah, just going back, looking at my records, I'm actually playing with house money in both the NFL and college football. And so, yeah, we're coming into the bowls here, looking to build on that record and already have some big plays up.
Love it. So check out the Insiders Room when you're looking for your two handicappers to choose. Ross and Nick are really, really good ones. Okay, so Florida Beavers -10, total 52.5. What do you got for me?
Yeah, this is an interesting matchup for sure, for a number of different reasons. But I think when you really get into it, I think it sets up as what will be a really lower scoring defensive affair. So I'm going to be suggesting a play on the under in this one, Allie. You know, the Gators, they went 6-6 on the season. They earned a bowl bid here against Oregon State. But there's a big problem here for Florida bettors, and that's that the Gators will have to turn to Jack Miller III as their quarterback. And he'll be making his first start ever against a 14th ranked Oregon State team. Now, that's because Anthony Richardson opted out of the bowl game to prepare for the NFL draft. And then they also dismissed their backup quarterback, Jalen Kitna, for undisclosed reasons. And so they're missing other players too. They're missing top offensive lineman, a top linebacker, a top receiver. And so only defensive lineman Jervin Dexter plans, who is going to declare for the NFL draft. He is the only player that we actually playing in this bowl game.
Wow.
So, yeah, the question is, can Oregon State then cover this large spread? And I do think that the Beavers will win this game, but I'm just not sure if they can cover this large spread.
Right.
And so that's why, yeah, I'm going to suggest that they play the under in this one. The only shot that the Gators have on offense in this one is to run the ball behind Montrell Johnson. He has 827 rushing yards, 144 attempts. But the thing there is that Oregon State is really good against the run. They only give up 114 yards per game. They have a good pass defense. They're good against the pass as well. They only allow 21.4 points per game overall. And the Beavers themselves, they don't have much of a passing game themselves with Ben Goldbranson. He has 8 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. And so for Oregon State, the strength for them is the run game as well. Damian Martinez, 970 rushing yards on 158 attempts. So, yeah, I think the Beavers will win, but I think the safest bet and the safest way to go on this one is to go with the under.
Yeah, I would agree. And it's kind of like correlated. Like if you like the Beavers to cover, you should probably take it over. And if you like Florida to cover, you should probably take it under. Just being a tight game that way. But I do like the idea of the under because, again, this Beavers is more of a ground and pound team. They're not, sailing the ball through the air or anything. So that's how we're going to play it. Nick, you were number 3 on the site yesterday for best bets. People at home, don't forget, check him out at picksandparlays.net and use the promo code NFL. And also don't forget to like and subscribe. Ring that bell for notifications because the Power Hour is on every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. All right, we're going to move into the NFL. We're talking the Bengals at the Buccaneers. Bengals are a -3. Bucs had a crap show of a game is what they had. There's no other way to explain it.
Yeah.
Crap show, we say.
And a crap show of a division. I mean, it's a crap show.
I don't ever think I've seen Tom Brady look so defeated as he did in that game. Was that 2 interceptions he threw? It was a mess. It was ugly. Yeah. Is this a bounce back spot or not? Like I said, Bengals -3.5. The total's 44. But before we get going, like I said, Nick Parsons, number 3 at picksandparlays.net yesterday. He made you guys $300 on his 3-0 day. So head over there. You can pick any 2 handicappers for only $299, and you're going to get every single one of their bowl picks. Okay, every single one. picksandparlays.net/bowl pass is how you get there. All right, Nick, talk to me about this one. What do you think is going to go down in the Bengals Bucs?
Yeah, well, Brady got smoked, as you mentioned there, 35-7 by Brock Purdy and the 49ers. And I think that he's going to once again have his hands full here, trying to keep pace with your favorite there, Joe Burrow. You know, the Bengals are now 9-4. The Bucs are now 6-7. Cincinnati, it's coming off a 23-10 win over the Browns as a 4.5-point favorite. Joe Mixon complimented Burrow well. He had 96 rushing yards. The defense held Cleveland to just 4-16 on third downs, and Burrow did have the 2 passing touchdowns. Cincinnati's rolling. It's won 5 straight after the slow start to the season. And then on the other side of the field, you know, the Bucs, they were 3.5-point underdogs, but Brady and Tampa, they came up more than 3 touchdowns short of being able to cover that. Tampa's issues aren't on the defensive side. They're clearly on the offensive side. They were just 4 of 16 on third down conversions last week. But, I mean, that said, Tampa's defense did look absolutely terrible last week against Purdy. So I think Burrow and company, you know, they're the correct call here. I just mentioned the NFC South is a disaster. It's a crap show. So even with a loss here, the Bucs still have a legitimate shot of winning that division. And so I think this is a terrible matchup for the Bucs. I think Brady is declining, obviously, and the Bengals are heading the other way, clearly. And this will be a primetime game, and this will be one that Burrow will definitely, this is one that he has circled, you know, and so, yeah, I like the Bengals here.
Yeah, and you know, key numbers in football is really important. You know, sticking at a 3 is one thing, but giving Tom Brady at home 3.5 points says a lot. You know, that the book isn't necessarily afraid of giving the Bucs points. And when you think that the Bengals are 10-3 against the spread, the Bucs are 3-9-1 against the spread, there's only one way I could roll with this game, and it's going to be with the Bengals. So I would probably try to buy the hook down if I could, just because I'm that kind of girl. But I think 3.5, even 4 is just totally okay in this spot. I really do. Bengals are just on a mission right now. That's how they're rolling. People at home, don't forget to like and subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We're on every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern with the Power Hour, giving you tons and tons of free football picks. All right, one more to go, and we're talking the Eagles at the Bears. I had a bad read on the Eagles. I was on the Giants. It looked like a spot where everyone would go one way and it might just happen the other way. I had him in a teaser, so I had him like plus 13. It was garbage. It was just garbage is what happened. So Eagles are minus 8.5 here. They're at the Bears. The total on this one's 48.5. What do you got for me? Oh, wait, before we get going with that, let me remind everyone again, Nick Parsons is from the Insiders Room, and the Insiders Room is number 3 on the site yesterday. They had a 3-0 day. And now with the site, our promo, you can pick any 2 handicappers, get every single one of their bowl games for only $299. All right. So pop in picksandparlays.net/bowl pass, find the Insiders Room, and put them on your 2 handicapper team to make money through the bowl games. All right. So, Nick, save me from myself. What do I do in this game?
You're taking Philadelphia again here.
Yeah, I don't know why I just want to fade them. I just want to fade Philadelphia. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm from Houston and we smeared them in the World Series. And I just want to beat Philadelphia all the time for the rest of the year. Maybe that's it. All right, go ahead, Nick.
Well, when we look at these 2 teams, obviously the first thing that comes to mind is 2 extremes. One team's already eliminated from playoff contention. The other one has the best record in the NFL and is trying to stay in the lead in a very competitive division. So one team's playing for pride, the other team is playing for playoff positioning in this one. But the Bears have struggled with offensive consistency this year. That's been the main reason behind their 3-10 record. But that said, Justin Fields, their quarterback, has definitely taken a step forward from last year. Before missing a game versus the Jets, he had 5 consecutive games with both a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown. Philadelphia's defense is pretty stout, though, and one has to wonder where the motivation is going to come from here for the Bears. They fell 28-19 here to the Packers last weekend. They allowed those 18 fourth quarter points. And so, yeah, that was because Aaron Rodgers was able to just pick apart that secondary. This Bears secondary is just terrible. It's in complete shambles right now. And so I just think that Jalen Hurts is going to be able to put a hurting on this secondary here. Last Sunday, Hurts had 380 passing yards versus the Titans. He's never had 400 passing yards yet in his pro career. And so could this be the week that happens? I really think he'll try for it. I think he could get it. He's now the hands-on favorite to win the MVP this season. and I just don't think you'll have any mercy here. And so I'm going to suggest laying the points with Philadelphia.
All right, I was kind of liking this game over. That's the way I was kind of looking at it,
Right.
just because they've been trending they're both 9-4 to the over. So I was kind of looking at it that way. And clearly I'm horrible at betting when the Eagles are involved. So I might just stay off of this game altogether, people. I'll do everyone a favor and do that. But if you want to bet on this game and more of Nick Parsons' best bets, head over to picksandparlays.net. Use that promo code NFL. It's going to save you 20% off whatever you get from Nick Parsons. Put him on your capper team for our 2-capper pass, and subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. The Picks and Parlays Power Hour is on every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Good luck, everyone. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks.